Hello, I'm Chris Mills, and today I'm going to be doing a Rescramble tutorial. So you guys remember, like half a year ago or so, I can't actually remember how long ago it was quite a while, I made this video. Basically, I just sat down at my desk and talked about how I do Rescramble. Not very in-depth with the tutorial and the algorithms I use and stuff like that, but you guys really liked it. It got quite a lot of views. It's like 700 or something, which is more than I usually get on my videos. So I assumed that a proper tutorial would actually do quite well. So before I get into the tutorial, I want to give you guys a sort of backstory on Rescramble and my history of Rescramble. So in 2018, Rubiks and Red Bull announced this. It was a Rubik'sCube World Championships. So what they did is they turned speed cubing into a more competitive sport with head-to-heads and prize money and free trips to America. So I was really excited about this. But yeah, they announced that they were going to have 4 events: speed cubing, mixed, speed cubing female, fastest hand, and Rescramble. So lots of people were like, what's this Rescramble ordeal? So I basically think they were like, hey, we're adding events that have happened before, let's do something new. Maybe it will intrigue lots of speed cubers into checking out our competition. So that's what they did. They added Rescramble, which I should probably explain what that is first. So essentially, you're given a scrambled cube and a solved cube, and you do a little magic, and without turning the scrambled cube, you make the solved cube look exactly the same as the scrambled cube. So you end up looking something like this, if you did it right. So it can be quite daunting to figure out how to do this. It can be quite confusing. I struggled at first as well. So I'm going to kind of talk you through the whole process during this video. So 2018, I decided I would try and qualify at the London qualifier here. This is a video of me doing so. And this was the seeding round where I managed to get the fastest time that ever happened in with Rescramble in a Red Bull competition. So I was pretty happy with this time. I then managed to go and win the comp in Rescramble in the head-to-heads and qualify for Boston, which they also paid for the trip for me and one of my parents. So that was amazing. I then didn't really put that much practice in between then and the Boston finals, but I was busy with schoolwork, I was a bit stressed, and hey, stuff happens. So finals roll around, I end up getting 3rd. Here's some pictures of me in the finals there. I wasn't really that happy with my performance. I should have definitely got 2nd in my opinion, and maybe even had a chance of winning. But Ricky Myler managed to win that year. He's a great guy. I've talked to him quite a lot, and yeah, that was it for 2018. 2019 rolled around. There was another Red Bull World Cup. I didn't qualify because there wasn't any qualifiers near me, but I'll let it slide, Red Bull. It's okay, I don't mind. And so yeah, Ricky managed to win it again, I believe. I think Berta podiumed and Dimitri and stuff, Dimitri I managed to beat in the quarterfinals the previous year. So now we're going to move on to 2020. So I was sent very nicely by Rubiks and Red Bull, I assume, a Rubiks Connected, which they were using to host online qualifiers for the World Finals. So you had to get in the top 3 of the head-to-head bracket in 3x3 to qualify for everything for the finals. And I beat Bill Wang. It was very cool. Bill Wang's very fast. I'm very slow. And I beat him, and I made it to the finals, which meant I had automatically qualified no matter what I got in the finals. I managed to win that as well, just a bit of a flex. But yeah, so that was me qualified for the World Finals. And then October rolls around. It's a couple of weeks away from the finals, and I decided to drill Rescramble again. So I probably did about 2,000 solves, something ridiculous like that. And I did pretty well in the finals. I was hoping to maybe get 3rd, maybe 2nd if I was really lucky. I did really bad in seeding, but I managed to get a good seed. Here's the bracket here, if you're curious. And yeah, I then made it to the finals. And I was against Ricky Myler, and I 2-0'd him. I got some banging solves, and let's watch the winning solve right now. Let's go! So yeah, that was a pretty cool solve. I had a mad reaction because I was not expecting to win. But yeah, that's basically the background on Rescramble and why I'm pretty qualified to teach you guys about it. So before we get onto the main video, which you guys are probably waiting for or skipped to by now because I have timestamps below, I want to talk about a few things. Firstly, there was two methods to Rescramble. Well, they vary a little bit, but two main methods. So it was doing CFOP, like me and Ricky Myler do, or you have reverse blind, which like Berta and Adam Barter and Manuel Gutmann use. So that is basically memorizing the cube and then doing the reverse of what you do for free blind. I'm not sure entirely how it works, I've never tried it. So I personally reckon CFOP is better and faster and has more potential, but if you're already very good at free blind, it may be better to learn reverse blind. I don't know anything about it. You have to contact one of these guys. They'll probably hate me for telling you to do that, but whatever, they can deal with it. So if I'm teaching you the CFOP method with my variations, one thing you're going to need before watching this video is you're going to need to know how to solve a 3x3. And you're going to have to be pretty confident with doing reasonably advanced F to L pairs, because it will be quite hard to do basic F to L pairs while doing Rescramble, because that will involve rotations, which can be quite difficult to kind of do and not mess up in Rescramble solves. You're also going to need to learn a few algs. Quite a few of them you probably already know if you're an advanced 3x3 solver. So yeah, that's basically it for the introduction. I'm going to throw it over to Chris, who has a different camera angle, and he's going to talk you through the first step, which is cross. Right, peace. Okay, so I hope you kind of enjoyed that weird intro segment I did there. I'm bored in quarantine in New Zealand, and I thought it would be a fun idea to mess around with a green screen kind of thing. So now I'm going to move on to the actual tutorial. So the first step, since I'm doing CFOP, is cross. So basically what you're going to want to do is what you do on a normal solve. Although I find it easiest to always do the same cross and from the same angle, because then you can kind of remember where the edges start on the cube, so you can build your cross faster and faster each time as you practice loads. So in competition, you're going to get your cube scrambled and in a random orientation. So the first thing you're going to want to do when you start time it is pick it up and rotate. So then you're going to kind of want to check all the pieces basically and figure out what needs to go where. So the first edges I try and build are any ones that are connected like this. So this is connected with blue, so that's just a one move edge. And then I would do this one because that's just 3 moves from here to here, so 1, 2, 3. And then you've got 1 move to get that one to there, and then 1 move to get that one to there. So I've practiced loads doing this, so it's really just a lot of practice for doing cross. It's quite simple, but you're going to have to practice lots and lots to be able to do it fast with zero inspection. So that is cross. It's quite simple. I will scramble up and solve and all that and show you another example just so you kind of get the hang of it. So I'll do that now. Right, so I now have a new solved and scrambled cube, so I'm going to go ahead and do cross again. So I'm going to rotate fast to here, and this is quite an easy cross actually, because that's joined, and that's joined. So I can solve 3 cross edges with just 3 moves. So it would be that, that, and that. So now as you can see, that cross edge is solved, that one is solved, and that one's solved. And then the last one is just that. So that's quite simple. So yeah, I'm really good at cross now because I've done it thousands of times. It might seem tricky at the start, but just practice, keep at it, and you'll get the hang of it. So after you finish cross, you're going to move on to the first F to L pairs. So what I like to do with the scrambled cube is rotate it like this, so I can look around at the top and see what pairs need to be solved quite easily. So then I'm also going to do the same with this, obviously. So I see that this corner here, this orange, green, yellow, and then the red, blue edge need to be solved. So what I usually do is just try and get them in the top layer. So I see this corner's here, get that into the top layer, get that in the front, and then this edge is right here. So if you think of it, that is just that is just this pair here, where the pair is next to each other, but it is flipped. That is exactly what it is. So this, you just do that and then solve, right? So on this, it is exactly the same. You just do that and then solve. It's going to take you a while to recognize the pairs and how you have to do them, but just like the cross, bit of practice and you'll be good to go. So then you're going to go ahead and try and recognize this pair. So that is the white, green, red corner and the green, red edge. So the white, green, red corner is here and the green, red edge is here. So this is actually just a free mover from here, just like that. So I recognize that quite quickly. You guys might have not seen that instantly, but whatever, it's fine. So once you've done that, you're going to want to use one of your hands to do a Z2, to put green on top, and then you're going to do the same with this cube, and you're going to repeat the same process, but remembering not to affect the back pairs. So you got this corner and that edge, and as you can see, the edge is already in the slot, and the corner's just there. So it's just a simple alg to put that in there. You guys probably know that if you're pretty good at F2L for 3x3. And then we're just going to do the last pair. We got this corner in here that's flipped, and then we got this edge that needs to go in here. So you can just kind of do a rotate, insert that, and rotate back. Try and avoid rotations, or if you do them, rotate back afterwards, because otherwise it can get very confusing, I have found. Right, so that is the first 2 layers done. I'm going to do what I did before, rescramble again, solve this, and show you a full example of another F2L solution. So as you can see, I am done with the cross, just like before, and I'm going to rotate down and do F2L again. So I've got this pair here, so I see this edge here, this corner here, pair them up like that, insert like that, easy peasy. Got this corner here and this edge there, and that corner is back here, and then the edges here, so I just pair them up like this, just like normal, insert them. Z2, it is this corner here, which is right there. Insert just with some F moves there. Usually you rotate to do that, but avoiding rotations you wouldn't. And then this pair's already made, so I just insert like that. So yeah, that's F2L and cross, so you should be able to do that or kind of understand how I do it. And now we're going to move on to a more confusing step, you may call it. Okay, so once you've finished the first 2 layers, obviously the next step is going to be the last layer. So most of you guys probably know full OLL and PLL, but you can do that with Rescramble, but it's extremely difficult because you've got to recognize 8 pieces each time, where I find it easier and faster to only recognize a few pieces, then do an alg and then recognize a few other pieces, and kind of more lean towards the TPS style of the solve. So the first step we're going to want to do is EO. Down below I will have algs for every EO case. It's just similar, just exactly the same as 2-look OLL for CFOP, just for a normal 3x3 solve. So as you can see here, that's the same as that. So that edge is oriented because red's facing up like it should be. This is not oriented because white should be facing up. This is not oriented because green should be facing up, and this is because blue is facing up on that. So I then know that these 2 are solved. So if I do a U, that's essentially a line case, just like this on a 3x3. So you just do the same alg as you would on a 3x3. So just F sexy F prime. So that gives you EO done. So next might be quite confusing for you guys. You might not understand why I do it, but the main reason I do it is because I reckon I am personally quite fast at turning and recognizing easy to recognize stuff. So this is why I do this. So what I do is I solve this front left corner. You can do this by either doing U moves or U primes or U anti-sune, U prime anti-sune, and all that kind of stuff. So you want to find the corner, which is here, and I am going to orient it by just doing a sune, and then a U prime puts it into position. So then next, you're going to want to solve this corner. So there is a list of algorithms down below that you will use to get it into this corner position, whether the yellow sticker would be there, or there, or there, or there, or there, or there. So there's a few algorithms. This one we got lucky and it's already there, so we can skip that step. And then the last step for the corners is just to solve the last two. This is around 4 algorithms or 5 algorithms or so, and it just swaps this one. I just have to swap these two and twist them a bit as well. So I use this alg, and that's R prime, Y and R. You probably know that already. And yeah, so that is corners done. So as I said, there is quite a few algs for this step, but it's really easy to recognize them. And the algs, probably quite a few of them you know already. So now we're on to the last step. We have EO done and we have corner solved. So we'll be left with like an H perm like this, a Z perm, or either of the U perms. So to recognize this, we just have to look at the cube basically. Firstly, we want to see if there is like a solved edge. So that would mean it would be a U perm case. So in this case, this is a solved edge because that is green facing up and that's green facing up. If all of the edges on the top are different colors, that really helps with recognition. It can get more difficult if you've got like 2 blues or something, because then it might be a Z perm and stuff like that. It's kind of difficult. But luckily we got a solved edge and all the colors are different, so it's really easy to recognize. So then we just have to figure out which way the U perm needs to go. So for this one, it needs to go clockwise. So that needs to go around this way. So you guys probably have your own algs for U perm. I'm just going to do a U prime, do that alg, and then a U. And that is me all done. So now I'm going to show you all of the different last layer cases, case by case, so you guys can kind of see how to recognize them and see the algs as well, because I will be putting them up on screen. Okay, so now we're going to go over all of the cases you can get for the EO step. So that is the first step in solving the last layer. So there is 4 cases for this. The first one is either you get all of the edges oriented. So that would, on a normal 3x3, that would look something like this. The second case is a line, so something like this. So you just solve that of f sexy f prime. And the third case is an L like this. And the final case is a dot case like this. So you guys probably already know that, but I thought I'd cover this anyway, just to make sure. So you basically just need to learn how to recognize it. You'll get better eventually. So for this case, I can see that I've got 2 white facing up on this one, and I only need 1 white facing up. And that white one is the white orange, so I know this one's oriented correctly. And then both of these have orange, and they're both the correct orange. So I know that these 2 are already oriented, and it's these 2 that are not. So I just do U, and then it becomes an L case. And then just F inverse sexy F prime, and then that's solved. So then, say you got a dot case like this. You can quite easily see, you might think, oh, these are the same, but no, this one is supposed to be like that. So that is incorrect. And for this one, you may think, oh, that's oriented, but no, that's supposed to be the orange-blue one that's oriented like that. So this is a dot case. The alg will be up on the screen when I do it, and also all of the algs will be down below in the description. And then, yeah, that's all of the cases there. So we've got the line, which I showed you before. It's just this case. So that is oriented and that is oriented. You do it. Easy. Okay, so after solving the front left corner, the next step is going to be solving the front right corner. Before I go over all of the algs for these cases, I am going to first just explain the notation I'm using to explain which case is which. So I'm using something similar to the blind method. So if I said UFR, that would be the up face, and then to the front, and then to the right. So that would be UFR. And then for something that isn't on the top layer, so the U layer, I'm not going to bother saying it's FIU, because I don't need to say the U, because you know it's just going to be on the top layer. So if I said RB, it would be the right side at the back, so this one here. So the first case you can get is solved. So that's if this case is already solved, basically. So that corner is there already. Pretty easy to recognize, and it's quite lucky if you get that. The next case is if the corner is in this position here, with the sticker already correctly oriented. So this is URB, and this algorithm is as follows. So the next case is ULB, so that's when the corner's in the back left and correctly oriented. So I use this alg. So the next case is FR, so this is when the corner's already in the correct position but not oriented, so it's this sticker that needs to go on top. So this is quite simply just sune U2. And then very similarly to that case, this is where it's already in the correct position, but the sticker that needs to go on top is in the right. So this is RF. And this alg is just U2 anti-sune. So the next case is RB. So this sticker here just needs to move to here. So the alg I use is as follows. Okay, so the next case is BR. So this sticker here just needs to go to here. So this alg is just as follows. And the next case is BL. So this sticker to here is just Nicholas. And lastly is LB. And this case is very easy. It's just probably what you guys use as an below alg. Okay, so that is all of the algs and cases for solving the front right corner. You guys are welcome to use your own algorithms, but these are the ones I've just found to be the fastest. And if you have any better ones, please leave them below and I'll be happy to learn them and switch to them. Okay, so now I've shown you all of the cases for solving the front right corner. I am going to show you all of the algs and cases for solving the back two corners with one alg. So again, you're welcome to use your own algs, but these are the ones I recommend. And I believe there is only 5 cases and one of those, 6 cases and one of those is solved. So then the next case you can get is where they're both correctly oriented. As you can see here, orange is supposed to face up on that one and white's supposed to face up on that one, but they're in the wrong spot. So I personally like to do U and then a T-Perm and then U prime, but you can do whatever you want. You could do a J-Perm or an L-Perm or whatever. Okay, so this is where you need to do like a T-Perm with the corners, but also twist them a bit as well. So this is when these two need to do that as well. So for this alg, I use R prime and then Y perm R, and then that solves them. Okay, so for this case, you've also got to swap them adjacently like a T-Perm, but you have to twist the corners the other way. So these need to go on top. So this alg at a U2, and then that's COLL alg. Okay, so the next two cases are just when they're permuted, but they just need to be oriented. So for this one, where these need to go up, like here, I just do back sune into sune, and you don't need to do any AUFs or anything. And then for this case, you just need to twist the other way, so you just do anti-sune, back anti-sune. So that's all of the cases for solving the back two corners. Again, yep, use your own algs if you want to, but these are the ones I use. Okay, so once you've solved the back two corners, as I said before in my previous example, you just have to do EP. So that could be a Z-perm, an H-perm, or either of the U-perms, or it could be solved. So you guys can use whatever algs you want to use for this, it doesn't really matter. I'm just going to do a few examples and kind of explain how I recognize it. So firstly, I'm going to look at the orange pieces because I know there's 2 of them, and then figure out if this one's in the right position or if these 2 are swapped or whatever. So this is the orange-green one, and as you can see here, this is in the right position. So then I know it's a U-perm. So I then need to look to see which way they have to go. So I see this one here, and that's there, so they have to go anti-clockwise. I'm just going to do a U prime T-Perm U, and then it's done. Okay, so here's another possible case. So here I can see, oh, okay, 2 oranges are both in the right position, but then these 2 are wrong, so then that means it's got to be an H-perm. Okay, so for the last example I'm going to show you for EP, you just have to, again, recognize, so I see 2 oranges are up here, neither of them are in the correct position, so that means the only possible case it could be is, I guess it could be a U-perm, but it's not, because they need to swap like this, which means it's a Z-perm. So now I'm just going to look to see what Z-perm it is, and these 2 need to swap because you can see that on there. So yeah, that's the edge permutation step, which is the last step for doing Rescramble. Make sure you correctly do AUF, otherwise you might get a +2 or a DNF if you're in a Red Bull competition. Okay, so that is it for the Rescramble tutorial. Please do let me know if you have any troubles with the method or the algs or anything. Just leave a comment down below, I will read all of them and reply to as many questions as I can. Also, please do let me know what you thought of that presentation style thing I did at the start. I got a bit carried away with the green screen, but I really enjoyed making that, and I hope you guys did too. So if you're new to the channel, make sure to hit the subscribe button or whatever people say nowadays, and check out my other videos. You might find you enjoy those as well. So yeah, I'll hopefully get some more videos out reasonably soon. In a few more days, I'll be leaving New Zealand quarantine and I'll be traveling around a bit. But once I'm settled down and where I'm going to be living for the next few months, I'll make sure to get back on the YouTube grind. So yeah, I'll see you guys soon. Bye.